All right, episode 3, and once again, it's kind of a mixed bag. There's some things here that are good, and some things here that I was disappointed by, so I guess we'll just get into it. It seems like the show is trying to give Clarice a little more showcase for character development, and that's good. I'm a little split on a couple of the decisions they made, like they let us hear her prophecy right away instead of it being a reveal at the end. I'm not really sure what my thoughts are on that. It's fine, I guess. One thing I do like is the Edge is back. Like we get to see Ares. We get to see the scene where Ares gives her the ship with the crew, and they've changed the crew. Instead of a bunch of Confederate soldiers, now it's a mixed bag of different soldiers who lost different battles. Again, I don't know if I like that or dislike it. It's fine. Like, I know a whole bunch of people are going to be like, Disney doesn't have the balls to show a bunch of Confederate soldiers. It's like, that could be it. But it still retains, like, the basic idea that was there in the book. It's a bunch of soldiers who lost wars and owe a debt to Ares for losing. And the ship looks nice. We also get the Princess Andromeda cruise ship, you may know from the books. That looks fine, too. My friend Shane was constantly joking it's probably a leftover boat from the Disney cruise line. But it's nice to see that it doesn't just always look like the characters are standing against a green screen. Like, it actually, they're actually on these sets and stuff looks okay a lot of the time. Sorry, my allergies are driving me nuts. But, yeah, so there's an action scene in this, which is pretty cool and fun to watch for 10 seconds, because then it's over. And that's all the action in the episode. There's not a lot of action this episode. And what really annoys the hell out of me is there are no new monsters this episode. Particularly, there is no Agrius and Aureus. They're not in the show. They're just not going to be. I'm calling it. I don't think they're going to introduce them later. There's no Agrius and Aureus. We get Luke's ship. If you read the book, this ship is supposed to be crawling with monsters. Yes, there are some rogue half-bloods on it too, but its main thing is supposed to be monsters. It's supposed to have Agrius and Aureus and Cyclopes and Dracana and Laestrygonians and all this, and we get the Laestrygonians, the same ones we had earlier. I'm sure it's those exact same guys. They even say, I think those are the monsters we saw earlier. And I am happy to see more of them because they look good and it's a good practical effect, but where are Agrius and Aureus? Where are any of the monsters that we're supposed to have? You already didn't give us the Colchis Bulls, now you're not giving us all this other stuff, and it just kind of sucks. It kind of sucks that, again, like I said, this cruise ship is supposed to be completely infested with monsters, and it's not. And what's really weird about it is it seems like the ship has regular passengers on it. How exactly is this operation being run? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think that was a thing in the book. I think the ship was exclusively Luke's forces. But I guess Luke is just running a regular cruise line. I guess that's his source of income or something. It's kind of weird because it's like, doesn't Luke need to sail this thing to the Sea of Monsters? And like, I'm not gonna go into deep spoilers, but if you know what happens in the 5th book, it's like, oh, are a whole bunch of innocent people just gonna get killed? Like, how do you have this ship be a regular cruise line and not just a battleship full of monsters? It doesn't make a lot of sense. But the dynamics between the characters are still pretty good. I find Percy and Annabeth's bond entertaining and good to watch. I still think Tyson is great. Like, they really do Tyson well this season, and that's nice to see. There's a scene where, like, the Laestrygonians have him building something for him, like they're going to try to recruit him. And I remember when that scene happened, I thought, okay, I hope that Tyson is currently, like, actually building something to fuck with them, like a bomb or something. And I was right. That turns out to be exactly what's going on. So that was cool. I like that Tyson didn't get duped by Luke's forces. Like, he knew that he had to help Percy and Annabeth still. That's very in character for Tyson, and not making him an idiot like what you idiots did to Grover in season 1. So yeah, I think one of the things this show is mainly getting right is the character dynamics are a lot better. Like, because that's something I keep finding myself complimenting. it's still, like, a lot of the time rushes through things, and it still a lot of the time leaves things out. But this episode, even though it did leave things out, which was annoying, it didn't feel rushed. This one didn't feel rushed. It felt like it went at a good pace. And that's amazing for having included more Clarice stuff than what was in the book. So that's, I'm a little impressed by. So that's cool. Like, so far, this is probably the episode I enjoyed the most, but it also does tick me off the lack of monsters. I want to see the monsters. Show me the big mythical stuff. Are we even going to get the hippocampi? I'm really starting to think it's not going to happen. Which is annoying because you have the hippocampi in the closing credits, you show pictures of them, and yet they still haven't shown up. I'm pretty sure they're supposed to have shown up by now, but maybe they'll show up later. I don't know. Maybe Agrius and Aureus will show up later. Maybe I'll look like a huge idiot and be wrong about everything. Like some of you rightfully pointed out, I was wrong about the Grey Sisters cab. Apparently it says that on the side of the cab. Now, in my defense, like, not the easiest thing to see, and it happens super fast, but you guys were right. I missed that. My bad. But, yeah, I'm also a little torn on... Back to Clarice. There's a scene where they have, first of all, her crew just not take her seriously at all. And it's like, but you're all terrified of Ares. You know this is the daughter of Ares. Are you not still fearing Ares' retribution through her, at least somewhat? It's a little weird. And then there's this scene where she gives them this inspiring speech about redemption and everything. And it's not a bad idea, even. It just feels a little too early for this. Like, I know Clarice has an arc in this story, in the Sea of Monsters story. Part of her arc is being willing to rely on others and not feeling like she has to do everything herself. It feels like she's already kind of going through that, though. Again, this is where it does feel rushed, but it's not like a rush of the episode, it's like a rush of the whole season. It's like you're going into something a little earlier than I would have liked you to. There's also a guy on the boat, because they all died, like, in naval warfare, right? There's a guy on the boat who's like, yeah, I'm from Blockbuster. And they're like, what? How did you die? The streaming wars. It got ugly towards the end. And I was like, okay, that's legit funny, but it makes no sense. Like, what even happened in the streaming wars? And second, like, does that actually count as naval warfare? Come on. Like, what happened there? But whatever, it's funny, so I guess we'll give it a pass. You may notice I'm being a little kinder to this episode. It's because I did, like, legitimately enjoy it more. You know, it's a lot easier to enjoy a show when you enjoy the characters. And that's something this season is getting a lot better than last season, in my opinion. I'm actually enjoying the characters on screen a lot more. It's probably because I have legitimately enjoyed how they've handled Tyson's character. Again, the Cyclops reveal, I didn't like that was so fast. I didn't like how they changed that. But how he is as a person, I think, is handled really well. And Percy's dynamic with Annabeth is handled a lot better. And even, like, their dynamic with Luke, I think, is handled pretty well in this episode. You know, when they go to Luke and tell him, like, hey, your dad thinks there's hope for you and stuff, he doesn't have that stupid, nonsensical reaction from the movie. It's like, oh, and he couldn't tell me that himself, even though it was established he's trying to talk to you and you're saying no to him. No, Luke is just like, well, too bad. You know, he's had more than his share of chances. His time is over. And it's like, yeah, I can believe that. I can get that. So, God, I think that's everything I have to say about it. Yeah, not a lot of action this episode. There was one little action scene, which was pretty cool. It was well choreographed and shit. They're changing up Clarice's story a bit, and I don't know how I feel about it yet. What I am legit upset about is the lack of monsters on the Princess Andromeda, the lack of the hippocampi, the lack of Agrius and Aureus. It's and you're all going to tell me it's a TV show, the budget, and I'm like, no, that's not an excuse anymore. Did you see the live action Last Airbender season? The budget was all over the screen, whatever you think of that show. Like, and you can maybe do something practical with Agrius and Aureus. Put some fur on some guys, it would look cool. And even if it looks a little fucked up, like, what happened to them is fucked up. So if their appearance reflects that, that's totally fine. I think that's everything I have to say about this episode. We'll see how things go from here. If maybe there's more budget on the screen, if there's more cool shit that'll happen. But I am legitimately glad the character dynamics are better this season, but we'll see when Grover comes back because they did him so dirty in season 1. We'll see how he is with them in season 2. I don't know how to end videos.